Morning. Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamu alaikum. We are going to solve the section 2, which is the long question section. These are the pre-board long questions of for pre-board first year exams at F.Sc College. Okay, the question 5 is about the explanation of combustion analysis, method for determination of percentage composition of an organic compound. Okay, so in combustion analysis, you know that we weight the sample of organic compound. What we need to draw there is that the picture or the diagram is mandatory. In this question, now we'll write all these things. We can use our own word to explain the answer of this question. But one very important thing is we will get 1 mark for writing all this explanation, like water is produced, which is absorbed by MgClO4 whole twice magnesium perchlorate, and 50% KOH is used to absorb carbon dioxide. Now, after this, we'll make the diagram. It will contain 1 mark. And at last, we'll have to write the proper formula. So for writing the proper formula, we will get 2 marks. So these are the proper formulas for writing, and the percentage of carbon, percentage of hydrogen, and percentage of oxygen. So by doing so, we'll get 4 out of 4 marks in this question. Okay. In the second portion of this question, it's a numerical from chapter 3, as you know, according to the pairing scheme. In this year, in 2023, we'll get a question from a numerical question in chapter 3, and the combination of chapter 1 is question 3. So helium in 100 cubic centimeter container at the pressure of 500 torr is transferred to the container of 250. So we can use the equation P1 V1 and go to P2 V2 in the first part A, because we are not changing the temperature. So T1 is equals to T2. So we don't need to write this one. Now you know the initial volume of helium is 100. Initial pressure is 500. Final volume is 250. So what will be the final pressure? So when you will add this, like you are increasing the volume, so there will be a decrease in pressure. So you can see your answer. You will simply rearrange the equation and get your answer. So when the temperature will increase from 15 degree to 20 degree, okay? So 15 degree to 20 degree, you are increasing the temperature. First of all, we will convert the temperature into Kelvin, okay? So 20 degrees Celsius plus 273 is equal to 293 Kelvins, while the 15 degree plus 273 is equal to 288 Kelvin. So we will use P1 V1 T1 is equal to P2 V2 T2 to rearrange this whole equation, and you will get 196.58 torrs. Okay, as you're using centimeter cube as a unit, so you can use torr. If it is decimeter cube, then you can use ATM as well. Okay, so that's the first part of this question. Now, the second question is about the question 6. It is about, it is from chapter 4, write a brief note on anisotropy and polymorphism and the Hassel law. That's 7, 4 and 7. So anisotropy is actually the angular behavior, okay? Everything is mentioned over here. You have to write brief notes. So first of all, we'll write the definition of anisotropy. Then we'll give the examples like refractive index, coefficient of thermal expansion, electrical and thermal conductivity. All of these things are linked with anisotropy, okay? And you will write that these properties are linked with direction, okay? And when the direction is changed, the properties are changed. And the very important example is the electrical conductivity of graphite is greater in one direction with another, with respect to another, okay? So you will like just read all this and you can use your own word to answer this question. In the case of polymorphism, we have same like molecular substance, but different crystalline form of that substance, okay? So when you'll write the brief note, you will mention the example as well, because example is mandatory in these questions, and you will get 4 out of 4. In Hess's law, you can see that in Hess's law, we'll write the definition, and 2 examples are mentioned here. One is the production of carbon monoxide, the energy for the formation of carbon monoxide, and the second is about the formation of sodium bicarbonate by the reaction of carbon dioxide with sodium hydroxide. So these are the 2 examples you can use. Uh, this is the image of your book, so you can directly read all this and you can answer your question, okay? All right, now the next part is from the solubility product, question 7, silver chromate. calculate the solubility of this compound. That's why it's simple. You have the solubility product value, which is 2.6 10 raised to the power negative 2 at 25 degrees Celsius. So you need to calculate the solubility. So Ksp is equals to the multiplication or the concentration of ions. So definitely we are getting two silver ions. So we'll write 2s whole square and s. That's the simplest way to write this one. Now you will put the values. 4s cube is equal to 2.9 raised to negative 2. S cube is equal to this. And at the last, you will get this answer. Always try to add units because units are mandatory. Now, the four properties of any four properties of neutron. So these are all the properties of neutron. You can use any four properties from these to get 4 out of 4 marks. Okay, question is about the bonding of oxygen according to molecular orbital theory and explain the magnetic behavior. Okay, so you can see that we have will draw this diagram. That's very important. First of all, now after drawing this diagram, we'll say that we have the bonding molecular orbital and anti-bonding molecular orbital, and two unpaired electrons in anti-bonding molecular orbitals are actually responsible for the paramagnetic behavior of oxygen. Okay, so when you will write all this, you will get 4 out of 4 marks. Similarly, describe the construction and working of standard hydrogen electrodes. So everything is mentioned over here. You will write this to draw this diagram for getting 2 marks. So try to draw a full label diagram. Okay, construction and working. So working is here. You can see that it is used as a reference electrode because the potential of standard hydrogen electrode is 0. Okay, so you'll write this all this one. You will read your answer. Like you can read this whole answer explanation and you can give your answer. Okay, the question 9 is about London dispersion forces. Elaborate two factors. Okay, two factors mean 2 marks for discussion of London forces and 1 mark for each factor. So London dispersion force is a momentary force of attraction between instantaneous dipole and induced dipole. That's the definition. The first factor and the second factor. I have mentioned these two factors separately. Okay. So the size of the molecule is very important. Like if we have like polar molecules or non-polar, so definitely they are non-polar molecule, but the size of monatomic gases. For example, if you will see your book helium, neon, argon, they are not making compound, but the size of helium is less than neon, which is less than argon. So when we are moving down the group, the boiling point will increase definitely. So that's the first thing. That's the first factor. And the second factor is about the length of the chain in hydrocarbon. So when we have a long chain, we'll get higher boiling points because long chain will have greater dispersion as compared to shorter chain. Okay, so these are the two factors you can mention here. Okay, and the 9 part B is what is meant by half-life period, how half-life method is used to determine the order of the reaction. So you will write the definition of half-life. Okay, it will contains 2 marks with example, and how half-life method is used to determine order of reaction. It is actually 11.4.1 topic in which you know that this is the final equation to find the order of reaction. Everything is in front of you, so you can practice them. So that's it. If you find any problem, then you can contact me. You can come to my office. Okay. Thank you so very much for listening. Take a very good care of yourself. Allah Hafiz.